Hey everybody, this is Perch. Back in New York City Comic Con, wrapping up with some more news, some more titles announced yesterday. So let's get to what some of those titles are. It's kind of a recap of a bunch of different comics that are coming out. One thing is for sure, though, 2023 is kind of shaping up to be the year of Tini Howard, but we'll get into it. So first off, we have a handful of Marvel titles, unsurprisingly perhaps, X titles. So we've got 3 that have been announced. We've got Gambit and Rogue, which it's a 5-issue limited. I still, every time I see a 5-issue limited series, it always feels to me like it was supposed to be a 6-issue series, but they're kind of cheaping out and going to charge us the same price for the trade, but give us 5 issues instead of 6. I don't know why. It's stuck in my head this way. This kind of move to 5 issues feels like the same money, less product, or maybe actually more money, less product than what we used to have. Regardless, this is called Rogue and Gambit. Not Mr. and Mrs. X. It is written by Tini Howard, art by Carlos Gomez, covers by Steve Morris, and this is kind of, at least a speculation, it's the repair or what have you of the relationship after Gambit died in the Excalibur book that Knights of X, that Tini Howard was written. Of course, he was brought back to life, but some shenanigans going on there. We've got Manifold on the cover and what looks to be Lady Deathstrike, and as well as Destiny, and kind of a odd-looking Rogue. But anyway, Rogue and Gambit, 5-issue, a limited series. That's pretty much. They haven't talked much about the plot, but what does married life look like on the orgy-filled island of Krakoa? The second title is Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, and this is, you guessed it, a 5-issue limited series. And this is going to be written by Tini Howard, with art by Vasco Georgiev, covered by Erica D'Urso. And this is basically getting into the what goes on when Betsy Braddock as Captain Britain, who also a mutant, and the current Captain Avalon, who was the previous Captain Britain, if you're following all that, Brian. And that Britain and the UK is rejecting mutants as part of their. This is part of the storyline that's been put together. So the basic premise is no one wants a mutant menace carrying the shield of Captain Britain, and Betsy's made more than a few enemies along the way. Questless and countryless, Betsy must define a role for herself. This sounds like a comic that's going to involve a decent amount of eating. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, it also appears to star Rachel Summers, the one-time Phoenix, who is, of course, in a relationship with Betsy that was established during the Knights of X book as well. So we'll get some of that. Rachel is shown kind of looking fawningly over at Betsy. So anyway, lots going on there. Third book in the same structure is Laura Kinney, who Twitter has been reminding us is the actual Wolverine, is actually coming out in a limited series. How many issues is this limited series? Yes, that's right. It's a 5-issue limited series, and it is not written by Tini Howard, but rather by Erica Schultz, with art by Edgar Salazar. Oh, I didn't give you the title. The title is actually X-23. So sorry, Twitter. Anyway, this is going to be called X-23 Deadly Regenesis, which is going to, they haven't really given anything else to it, but there was a Deadly Genesis title back in the about 15 years or so. That's when we learned about the identity of Vulcan and a number of other characters there. So this is Deadly Regenesis, X-23. May or may not have anything. Hard to believe it would have anything to do, but going to dig into her past. She is wearing her X-Force costume, which is kind of good, but if you're interested in a sad and pathetic meltdown, you can check out on Twitter right now, where people are super pissed at Marvel for calling it X-23 and not Wolverine, because as we know, she is the real Wolverine. It's canon now, according to Twitter, but maybe not. Actually, if you want to really get into it, the final arbiter of this stuff is Pornhub. That if you look under Laura Kinney, Wolverine, and X-23, you're definitely going to see the greatest amount of porn under X-23. But that's World 34 for you. Just for whatever. Not that has anything to do with anything. Then over on the DC end, we've got Harley Quinn who is screwing up the DCU in her new Multiversity series. Frank Thierry, Logan Farber are teaming up for Multiversity. Harley Quinn screws up the DCU in 2023, which looks like Harley Quinn being wacky and kind of a mix between her cartoon self and other self. This doesn't appear at all related to the Tini Howard Harley Quinn story. So that there's that anyway. If you're looking for more Tini Howard, have no fear. There's more Tini Howard in that one. So you have that title going on, and then there were a handful of other kind of DC titles that came out of all this. Still, we talked about the entire Superman family and kind of the books that are coming out of there. One of the interesting things going on with DC, as it was announced in the New York Comic Con, is that DC Universe Infinite, which is their all-in-one bundled digital comic service, is going to offer an ultra tier, which is a more expensive tier, but that basically gives you the comics 1 month after they hit the shelves. Now, comic stores are already basically saying this is the end of all life as we know it. DC went ahead and made the next 3 months of comics returnable for comic shops if they want to get out, and some comic shops are at least threatening that they will get out, saying this is predatory to their business, and I expect to do a video kind of talking about the pros and cons of all that. We also saw at the Comic-Con some art from the Mark Silvestri Batman Joker Deadly Duo. We learned that Joe Quesada, who recently exited Marvel, is now going to bringing his talents over to DC as a cover artist, which gives you at least a little bit more of a hint of whose choice was it for Quesada to leave. I think this. I don't know, maybe just speculating. We finally have a date for the Daughter of Blade, which has been announced for like 6 years, and that is going to be a 5-issue limited series, written by Danny Lore, art by Karen Darbo. Bloodline Daughter of Blade features the young Brielle Brooks as she tries to adjust to life at school while also developing vampiric powers and learning about her father, who is Blade. There is a 100% chance she is going to be a non-binary character. I don't mean to just throw it out there. It's just Danny Lore, 5-issue limited series, Mystery Daughter, which was not going to go anywhere. There's no way. Anyway, there's not going to be a little crush with. Anyway, so I got to this discussion with somebody the other day talking about how well, the next title we're going to talk about, Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's a teaser announcing the return of Guardians of the Galaxy. And in it, they're saying the family has to come back together. And you've got kind of a Guardian shield that's been split apart. What's funny about that is we've done the Guardians have to come back together like twice now in the last 5 years in the other reboots. So we just got done with Al Ewing bringing the Guardians back together as kind of a family and a team. In that one as well, I remember the big controversy people are going to remember for that is this brief flirtation with putting Doctor Doom on the team, which didn't go anywhere, and that Al Ewing made StarLord canonically bisexual. But here's my issue with that, and this is a discussion I was having earlier. They're basing that on the fact that he had sex with an alien couple, kind of a throuple situation, but they were quick to assign genders to these aliens, male and female. So here's my question for you. If it's difficult to determine genders with humans on Earth, where the definition of a woman is up in the air and all this, if it's more not so binary, if you will, why is it that we're very quick to assign male-female genders to aliens that likely have completely different genitalia? Doesn't even work the same way. I mean, for all we know, there's teeth up in there. Who knows? Regardless. It's I think these terms, it's all crazy. The same thing went through with Hal Jordan. We're like, oh, he's also bisexual. It's like he was dating some kind of alien squid monster. What kind of gender do we even apply there? Regardless, Guardians is coming back as a new title. Silver Surfer has a new 5-issue limited series in February called Ghostlight, where in theory we're going to bring back a character that was a long time ago, back in 1969. Al B. Harper sacrificed himself to save the world. Looks like he's coming back as Ghostlight with, quote, nanocloud powers. That is a new series that's starring, who's that? Writer John Jennings, art from Bitch Planet artist Valentine Delandro. So that's Silver Surfer Ghostlight. that we're getting. And is that nearly it? No, there's one more thing to talk about. And this is another one that we're going to have to spend more time with later. And this one's a little complicated because basically there was an announcement that there's going to be several new titles coming from Viz, where Viz is basically licensing the ability to do 3 new manga titles: Wolverine Snicked, Spider-Man Fake Red, and Marvel Comics A Manga Tribute, which are coming in summer of next year. And that's potentially pretty interesting for a variety of reasons. Anyway, one more thing actually to mention. There's going to be a static Shadows of Dakota, which will launch in February of next year, and that is also a 6-issue limited series because DC is not screwing us over by making bizarre other things. I don't know why that bugs me so much. Anyway, this one is the future of Static, and this is going to be the creative team of Vita Ayala, Nicholas Draper Ivy, and this is going to feature a grown-up Static with some other characters and kind of a peek at the future of parts of the DC or the Milestone universe, I should say. Anyway, lots of things in there, lots of little titles. What are you interested in? What are you buying? Let me know in the comments below. Do you wish you'd gone to New York City Comic Con? Do you miss these kinds of announcements? What's on your mind? Like I said, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.